what's one video on your channel that kind of stands out to you?
One video that really caught us by surprise, the amount of traffic that it received. We did a Band of Brothers short. And for your listeners who may be familiar with the series, there's the story that is depicted in the film of Sergeant Chuck Grant, who is almost mortally wounded by a drunken paratrooper of another company. Okay. And things are greatly condensed in the series. And so what we did in the special is that I found the original court-martial documents for the paratrooper who committed this crime, and I did a walkthrough of how it actually played out and how it compares with what we see in the film. And that generated a lot of traffic and perhaps even a degree of controversy because both alcohol and marijuana came into the mix. And we found out just how emotional people get about those two things when you include it with people who commit crime while under the influence of both of those substances. And so it led to this very interesting philosophical debate in the comments section about what motivates somebody to commit a crime like this. That was a really interesting one, but it turned out to be our most watched video. So we'll take what we can get.
Sure.
Yeah, and honestly, like technically our most watched video is a short as well, and it was just literally me like saying, hey, on this day, however many years ago, John Lennon, was killed. And it was literally me just showing a couple clips of him.
But our most popular video
yes,
is the actors and actresses buried at Arlington.
Yeah.
So did you know Maureen O'Hara is buried at Arlington?
Yeah.
I am.
So I didn't know that. And I'm a huge John Wayne fan. And during the pandemic, I was also looking up stuff on YouTube. And I was like, who's been to Maureen O'Hara's grave? Where's Maureen O'Hara's grave? And no one had been there. And I'm like, where is she buried? And I'm like, Arlington. And so we went there. And to find it is hard because she's not buried under Maureen O'Hara.
Yeah.
And so if you even search the database, you have to search under her husband's name.
Yep.
And but it was awesome. And then all the other people, like I said, that poster, this Jimmy Stewart museum, there's a lot of actors and actresses, maybe not all A-list, that have served.
Yeah, we went back and did a second video, and that one was, to me, was almost more cool because of some of the people that we uncover in our second video.
Yeah, influencers.
Influencers and still some actors, right? Gunny Ermey, who is I keep forgetting his name, Charles Durning.
Durning.
Yeah, he was super interesting.
Oh, you would love
veteran.
Durning.
Yeah. Lee Marvin.
And I do Lee Marvin because I love
Audie Murphy.
Audie Murphy. I do him, but I love the man who shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah.
So I talk a lot about Lee Marvin. Yeah.
There's a line from that movie that is applicable to almost any historical film. And the line is, when the legend becomes fact, print the legend.
Yeah.
And Hollywood does that so often.
Yeah.
And that was like the one line that I think Jen quoted me when we were making that video. She's like, hey, make sure you get a clip of this, the clip of that, of that saying.
I just, and I don't know who your big fans are, but I love John Wayne and I love that movie. I always tell people because for me, that movie was such a meeting of intelligence versus brawn. And sometimes you need both.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't negate one, you can't negate the other. Sometimes you really do need both. And and Lee Marvin, there's very few people who can hold up to John Wayne, right? To stand toe to toe with him as the bad guy, and Lee Marvin could do it. So
absolutely. And
very cool.
Just to quickly circle back to Jimmy Stewart, you referenced our video that we did about the Jimmy Stewart Museum. I have a very personal connection with Jimmy Stewart because he was born only about an hour away from where I live. But I also sent Jimmy Stewart a birthday card when I was 8. And so, all my friends were watching Power Rangers in 2nd grade, and I was watching black and white movies. So perhaps it was preordained that I would follow this route. But in any case, I drew him a birthday card, and it had Harvey the Rabbit on it.
Yep.
The famous invisible rabbit. And so, unfortunately, it was in the final year of his life, and he couldn't write a letter back to me personally, but his secretary wrote a letter, and it enclosed what was an autograph from Jimmy Stewart. And so
awesome.
he passed away only a few months later. So my letter was probably one of the last bits of fan mail that he received.
Sure.
Yeah, that's so great, Jared.
That's really, really
I mean,
cool.
It's a Wonderful Life is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, period.
Yeah. I watch it every Christmas Eve by myself. I love that movie. And
she cries every time.
I cry every time. I love that he's a Navy pilot. I'm always like, Navy pilot, his brother. I'm like, Harry wouldn't be there without his brother. I just love that part. I don't know if you watched our video, but I stand on his porch and I freak out because I'm standing on Jimmy Stewart's
very quickly.
Very quickly.
Someone actually lives
there. Because someone lives there, right?
Yes.
But I get all excited.
Jared, if people wanted to reach out to you guys or find your channel, what's the best way for them to do that?
People can go to YouTube and simply type in Reel History. And once again, that's REEL, as in a film reel. And we welcome subscribers and healthy, robust, and positive comments on our videos. You can also follow us under that same title, Reel History, on Facebook. And I also run a separate Facebook page for myself, which is entitled Historian Jared Frederick. And I try to do daily posts and, like you, share some images and videos from my various adventures to historical places.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a blast talking to you.
Yeah, this was fun.
Hopefully this is the first time that we get to talk, and many more times here after this. So to those listening, thank you for listening to The History Buzz. If you are interested in being a guest on The History Buzz, you can reach out to us at thehistorybuzz.com. That's thehistorybuzz.com. And don't forget to leave us a review anywhere you can. And until next time, my friends, as they might say over in Greece, Yamas.
Yamas.